The stage is set. Playoff field is in cement. Season behind us. Now we get down to business. Taking a look at the NFC playoff picture. Interestingly enough, all 6 wildcard games coming in Super Cup wildcard weekend are rematches from the regular season. We're even going to get 3 divisional matchups, one of which is your 2-7 on the NFC side, the Niners and Seahawks leading things off on Saturday at 4:30 Eastern time. You got the Giants and the Vikings in the 6-3, Cowboys and Bucks both feeling flat-footed in the 5-4, Eagles on ice for a week. All right, let's bring in the Wizard of Odds, Kenny White. We like to say when you buy is just as important as what you buy. So taking a look at these early lines and looking for opportunity, Kenny, we do have data points as we're getting rematches, we're getting divisional games. We're going to start on the NFC side with both a rematch and a divisional game between the Seahawks and the 49ers. Second biggest number we're looking at here with the home side, the Niners laying 10. Totals coming in at 42. Your initial reaction to these numbers is what?
I thought the game should be 10.5, 11. I think you're going to see it go up. San Francisco's a public team now, and they've been very, very good. We know Seattle has overachieved all season long. Very weak defense, and it's going to be trouble. They lost both games this year. You mentioned everybody's played. That's great. So a loss by 8 points at home and a loss by 20 on the road. 2 pretty dominating games by San Francisco. But I think they're a little different team right now. It seems like Kyle Shanahan has opened up the offense more now with Brock Purdy under center.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, that offense rolling. Do we have the stomach for 10? We shall see. Numbers will move, but that's our first look at that one. NFC is going to roll on here on Sunday with the Giants and the Vikings midday. That is Kirk Cousins outside of the 1 p.m. slot. It needs to be said. It needs to be taken into account. Vikings laying 3 at home, totals 47. Obviously, there's a checkered playoff past that haunts the Vikings. What's your first look at this one?
Well, we've been talking about the Vikings being a paper tiger for a long time now, a team that's I have 16th offensively in yards per play and number 30 on the defensive side. The Giants actually have better numbers, 13th offensively and 27th on the defense. So 2 weak defenses in this game. I really was hoping that the line would be more like it was the first time these two played. The Vikings closed 4.5 in that game. So I thought there might be a chance of seeing at least 3.5 here. I like the G-men. I'll take the Giants plus the points. I think they're going to be able to run the football against the Vikings, and I think that their defense right now is playing better than Minnesota is. I don't care about the Kirk Cousins jinx. That's really nothing to do with it, but I think the Vikings plus the points, I'll take them.
Yeah, that was my early lean there.
Giants.
That is, yeah, the Giants, they're scooping up those points in that spot. NFC side will round out in prime time on Monday night with the Cowboys and the Bucks. Feels like 2 really flat-footed football teams right now, Kenny. This is one of 2 road favorites we have here with the Cowboys laying 3 points. Totals coming in at 44. Where'd you make your number? Where's our opportunity right now?
I have the Cowboys 6.5 over Tampa. It's probably the biggest difference I have any of these games, and I'm factoring in a little revenge factor. They lost 19-3 to begin the season. I think it was week 1 or week 2 they lost at home to Tampa, so a little bit of revenge, on the Cowboys side. I didn't like what I saw today. Watched Washington and Dallas play first half. I just thought it was horrendous play calling on both sides, so left just not wanting to watch any more of that. I hope that the Cowboys can be the team we've seen the previous 6 weeks, where they're the highest scoring team in the NFL over that time period. That offense have been clicking all cylinders, and the defense flying around making plays. I just don't think they were really incentivized today. I think they will be against Tampa. They know what they're up against. They know they lost against them. They know it's Tom Brady. I know they're 1-4 on grass, but small sample size, does it mean a lot? I don't really think so. I think the Cowboys win the game.
Give me the over on passing attempts in that one. We'll see how it all plays out. Here's what Kenny White expects and how we're going to take a look at these numbers. Seahawks, Niners, we like the over 42 there, 10. It's a whole lot of hay to bale. Giants and Vikings, we're leaning towards the Giants here, taking those points, running the football. Cowboys, Bucks, palms to the air, who knows? Cowboys laying the 3 here on the road. Kenny White going to lay those points. Plenty to dig into on the AFC side as well. Kansas City going to take a nice little rest. 2-7 going to give you the Bills and the Dolphins. Now, who will be quarterback for the Dolphins remains a question. You get another divisional matchup between the Bengals and the Ravens in your 3-6. And then it's the Jaguars and the Bolts trying to add a notch to a young quarterback's belt. And that's exactly where we start on Saturday. Chargers and Jaguars. Chargers 2.5-point road favorites. Totals coming in at 47. My biggest question mark here is what we saw on Sunday, specifically with Bosa and Williams. Their availability moving forward could be in question. As we sort of read between the lines here, Kenny White, what's your feel for the Chargers, their preparedness for this moment against the Jags?
Well, those are two big-time players. We got to make sure that Bosa and Williams are both in. I'd have Bosa about a 1.5 difference, and I've got Mike Williams a 1-point difference. So those guys could change me, sway me from one side to the other. I made the Chargers a 2.5-point favorite in the game. I'll lay the one. Actually laid pick already. That was the one game I've already bet. That's the only game I've actually bet so far is the Chargers. And I like it because I like the way this team's playing right now. They got all the weapons back. Obviously, Mike Williams is one of those weapons we need in there. But they're playing their best football, I think, of the season right now. Jacksonville is as well. But I don't like what I saw to Jacksonville against Tennessee. I saw a very tight team. I saw a very tight Trevor Lawrence. They were very fortunate to get the scoop and score for the win. They may have lost that game if they don't get that. And Tennessee is not a very good football team. The Chargers, I think, would be 10 over Tennessee right now. So I like the Chargers here in this spot. I think they get their home revenge from that first game they lost this year. 38-10 they lost to Jacksonville earlier this year. I think they turn it around. They win this game by I got them by 3. Hopefully they win by a touchdown.
And that line could move with the way the news moves as well. Dolphins and Bills, we will await some news there. 11 points, the Bills. Biggest line of Super Wildcard weekend. They're laying in this spot. Over-under's 45. That one going to kick off the day Sunday on CBS. Kenny White, as we take a look at that number, 11, that really feels like a no Tua line to me. Does it to you?
To me, it does as well, Joe. I thought this game should be somewhere around 7.5. With Tua and maybe 11, 10.5, 11 without him. But I think he's going to play. I'm guessing he's going to play right now. I would think he'll do everything in his power if they can get him through the concussion protocol. He's going to be in the lineup, and he could be a difference maker in this game. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I like it over the total as well. I think that even without Tua, I still think this game could go over the total. So I think Teddy Bridgewater will be the quarterback. I'm not sure it'll be Skylar Thompson. It could be, but I think Bridgewater's the better quarterback of the two. So we'll see. I'm hoping it's Tua. Give me the 11 and let me go over.
Yeah, you just saw it right there. 101 combined points in the two matchups this season. I love the over in that spot as well. Ravens and Bengals going to be your final AFC offering. Bengals given 6, totals 44. That's coming in prime time on Sunday night. Divisional matchup. Joe Cool with unfinished business. The storylines are already made. Lamar is the question mark. What do you make of the numbers?
It looks like a Lamar in number to me. Obviously, we just saw these two play, and the game was up to 12 today without Lamar in the lineup, and the total was like 38. So that's a Lamar out number. The Bengals 6.5, 44. That's a Lamar in number. I think he's playing. John Harbaugh, one of the best coaches in the NFL. He gets more out of his talent than anybody. I think it's advantage to Baltimore. Just seeing Cincinnati, just playing back-to-back weeks. Both teams did it, but Cincinnati won the game. Baltimore lost the game. I think it's a close game. I think Baltimore, with Lamar Jackson, can take this down to the wire. I think Cincinnati wins, but I think Baltimore covers.
And maybe a little bit of unfinished business there with the Ravens feeling like they should have had their shot at a divisional title. Kenny White, always on the money. Thank you, my friend. All right, here's one last look at the AFC side. Dolphins, Bills. Kenny going to go on the Dolphins there. Loves the over as well. Ton of points between those two. 101 total in 2 matchups this season. We'll see if they can keep that going. Ravens and Bengals. Familiarity. Take those points. Ravens having just seen the Bengals. Chargers and Jaguars. Interesting matchup that is. Kenny White bought it at a pick 'em. We're looking at 2.5 right now. Kenny White not scared away by those points, laying them with the Bolts.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.